Hello everybody, welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show. Whoa, I thought yesterday was boring, but blooming heck. Today, what was all that about? We'll get into that stage number 5. We're already at stage number 5. We'll get into stage number 5 shortly, but first, let's check out what else is going off in the world of cycling today. Oosh. First up, I wanted to bring your attention to this Tour de France related tweet from Jens Voigt. He posted this tweet this morning saying, looking at yesterday's performance, Ineos Grenadiers might start to miss Geraint Thomas, one of the best and most loyal members of the team over the last 7 Tour wins. No Tour win possible without him. So Jens Voigt, now obviously a pundit for TV, but one of the most experienced World Tour riders. So he should know what he's talking about. But how many of you agree with this? Without G, there is no Tour win. Me personally, I think if we took, let's say, Chris Froome from 2013, let's say Geraint Thomas from 2018, Egan Bernal from 2019, put them all together in the 2020 team, I still don't think they're capable. They're not. I don't think they're capable of beating Primož Roglič. And Primož, I don't believe, has the strongest team. But what do you think to this? Without Geraint Thomas, is there a Tour win available to Ineos? I mean, it's still early days. I know anything can happen in the Tour de France. As ever, leave your comments down below. Do you think Jens is right? Without G, there's no Tour win for Ineos. Next up in the news, let's talk Road Racing World Championships. Now, 2 weeks ago, potentially now, we were talking about a story coming out of Australia Cycling. They weren't going to be sending any juniors or under 23 riders to the World Championships that were supposed to be happening in Switzerland at the end of September. Literally, the day that video came out, everybody started leaving comments saying the Worlds have been cancelled, there is no more Worlds. But it appears the UCI today put out a press release saying the Worlds are back on. They're not in Switzerland anymore, they're actually in Imola, in Italy. The UCI is pleased to announce that it has awarded the organisation of the 2020 UCI Road World Championships to Imola. The world-renowned Italian city and its region, Emilia-Romagna, will host the event from the 24th to the 27th of September. The awarding of this event follows the cancellation on the 12th of August of the Aigle Martin 2020 UCI Road World Championships in Switzerland, which meant the UCI needed to find a new organiser very quickly. So the schedule for the event is Thursday 24th of September is going to be the women's individual time trial, elite only. Friday, same again, men's elite individual time trial. Saturday will be the women's elite road race, followed by, as usual, on a Sunday, 27th of September, the men's elite road race. Also in this press release it says, although the start and finish of all events will take place on the Imola Automobile Racing Circuit, the routes proposed by the organising committee stand out due to their extremely challenging character. The men's road race will be 259.2 kilometres with a total of nearly 5,000 metres of climbing, whoosh, while the length of the women's race will be 144 kilometres with accumulated 2,750 metres of ascension. The circuit, 28.8 kilometres in length, will be the same for the men at 9 laps and the women at 5 laps and will include 2 difficult climbs. 3 kilometres in total with an average gradient of 10% and sections reaching 14%. So there we go, World Road Race Championships is back on. Question for you though, who's your bloody money on? Now the Tour de France isn't the only race going off, we've got various races going off across Europe, but one of the important ones is the Giro Under 23 race where Tom Pidcock took victory on stage 4 and puts himself into Maglia Rosa. So stage 4 of the race there you can see it was a very hilly race with a Cat 1 climb just past halfway through this stage and a 3 and a 2, and then the riders were finishing atop of a Cat 1 climb. With around 3 kilometres left in the race, Pidcock attacked, went solo, managed to pull a gap of around 30 seconds, held on to that all the way to the top of the climb to take victory, winning by a margin of 22 seconds from second place, Kevin Colleoni. Is that Michael's brother? I don't know. Anyway, it put him into the Maglia Rosa, 58 seconds ahead of Colleoni. Third, Giovanni Aliotti. All right, let's get into it because breaking news. Julian Alaphilippe is no longer in the yellow jersey. I'd finished editing the video. I was uploading the video and then the news comes out that he's no longer in yellow. He's had a time penalty after he took a bidon in the last 20 kilometers. And you can see from this footage here, you can see him taking that bidon on the right-hand side from one of his team soigneurs. Now the rules are within the last 20 kilometers of a race, no bidons are allowed to be handed out. You can't go back to the car. There's no point going back to the car, but you can't go to the car. You can't take a bidon from a soigneur at the side of the road. So he's suffered a time penalty, putting Adam Yates into the yellow jersey. So Adam Yates has been promoted up into first position and now wears the maillot jaune, 3 seconds ahead of Primoz Roglic, who is 5 seconds ahead of Tadej Pogačar. And that time penalty has pushed Julian Alaphilippe all the way down 15 positions into 16th place and now 16 seconds behind the yellow jersey. So right, let me just get this right. The eagle-eyed commissaires spot Julian Alaphilippe taking a bottle from a soigneur at the side of the road with 17 kilometers to go. Will have zero impact, right, on that stage finish. Zero impact, right? Yet they allow Sam Bennett to deviate from one line to the other in that sprint on stage 3 where Caleb Ewan took the victory. Granted, there was no accident caused or any issues with it, but what kind of ruling is this? Now, intentional or unintentional, what Sam Bennett did in the rule book is illegal and he should have been punished for it. The consequences of doing what he did are far greater than Julian Alaphilippe taking a bottle from a soigneur. Zero effect it would have had on the overall result of that stage. I'm sure Yatesy doesn't want to take the yellow jersey for something so stupid. It might have been a lapse of concentration from Alaphilippe. He might have just seen his soigneur at the side of the... I mean, you've got to look at the team and think they should know this. Like, when I've been a soigneur, we know where we need to be at what points, and we know that obviously we're not allowed into this area at this point because you're not allowed to take bidons. So you always made yourself aware where you needed to be and you were in the right position at the right time. It was always set out prior to actually starting the race. Oh, your feed's here, so the soigneur is going to be here. We're going to put a feed at 60 kilometers to go, 50 kilometers to go, whatever it might be. The riders had known, the soigneurs had known. So why that soigneur was at the side of the road with less than 20k to go, knowing that if he hands a bidon out, he's going to get one of his riders potentially a time penalty. It's a lapse in concentration from the team by the looks of it, and from Alaphilippe for actually taking it. I don't even need to ask you the question of what do you think to this. It's daft, it's stupid, but because it's been caught on TV, but again, Sam Bennett, we watched him go from here to here, no punishment. We saw Alaphilippe take a bidon, gets a 15-second penalty. Makes absolutely no sense. Leave your comments down below on this one. It stinks, doesn't it? Especially a Frenchman in France. You'd have thought they'd have let that slide. But leave your comments down below. Do you think he should have been punished? Or do you think knobheads are just being knobheads? All right, I guess we should talk about the actual stage. One of the most boring stages I've ever seen. But again, strange in the fact that there was no breakaway. When it came down to the sprint, it looked like I saw Wout van Aert in there. Oh, by the way, remember this from yesterday? Depending how many matches Wout van Aert has burnt today, you can't look past him for something like this. I don't think it's going to be an out-and-out sprint. I think Wout van Aert's going to have tomorrow. I'm just saying. So with about 300, 400 metres to go, it looked like Wout van Aert, potentially for me, was a little too far ahead in that train, and he was going to be hitting the wind pretty soon, and he was not going to have a sprint left. Turns out, he had more than enough sprint, and the genuine sprinters were just left in no man's land. It was ridiculous. He made everybody look stupid. And bearing in mind, think back to yesterday, we didn't see Ball, Bennett, Ewan, Sagan, Cockard, Viviani, none of them. We didn't see any of them smashing it to pieces on that final climb like we did with Wout van Aert. How can he go from being this super domestique that can just absolutely obliterate and rip the peloton to pieces at the bottom of a climb, to then be a sprinter going for a sprint win? In itself, pretty amazing. But then actually achieving the win. Ride of the day, by far. ride of the day. Other than that, nothing to talk about on that stage. There was potential of crosswinds causing havoc in the peloton. However, when the peloton actually got to the crosswinds, because there'd been no breakaway and everyone had been taking it relatively easy, that as soon as the pressure was applied, everyone was able to step up to it. And on top of that, the winds weren't really strong enough to cause those echelons needed to start breaking it all up. So yeah, great stage win by Wout van Aert. Boring as hell stage. All the drama came at the end of the stage with Julian Alaphilippe. Now stage 6 looks like it's going to be a GC affair again. 3 categorized climbs towards the end. You've got a first cat climb before a shallow drag all the way up to the finish. How's this one going to play out? Leave your comments down below. I want to know, do you think the GC contenders are going to be fighting for the stage win, or are they going to allow a breakaway to go up the road? And at what point are those attacks going to come, if at all, during this stage? Are they going to come on that first cat climb and hope that they can maintain that gap between the end of the first cat climb, down that little dip, and then all the way to that, I think it's like a 4% average gradient up around 8 kilometers towards the finish. So not that taxing, but are they going to have wanted to split that peloton and split those GC riders up on that first cat climb? I don't know. You might know. Leave your comments and your predictions down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure if you've not done already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you've enjoyed the video. If you've disliked it for whatever reason, hit that dislike button. And don't forget, please, if you don't want any spoilers, 1, don't go on social media, and 2, turn off your notifications. I don't want to be the person that spoils your viewing of the highlights prior to you watching it. Once you've watched them, head over here, check out what's going down in the comments, leave your comments, make suggestions, do whatever you want to do, and I'll see you tomorrow.